quick, I'm going to go over lesson 2. Again, I'll cover this a little bit faster. The geographer's craft. So, geographic perspective. Spatial perspective focuses on how individual places or people or objects are related to one another across the surface of the earth. For example, why are things located where they are? Think about Thief River, this map of Thief River. Why is Thief River where it is? Why did it decide to pop up out of nowhere and people start settling around Thief River? Obviously, think about where the river is, right? Where these rivers meet. You also have a nice fall line, which is where the dam is now. A natural fall line where you could have power plants or mills, sawmills, stuff like that. It's a good place to build along this river. All right. So, what makes distinct based on movements of people? Like what is distinct about Thief River Falls? Okay. So those are geographic perspectives. You got a local perspective that might be where to select a new home. Okay. It could be along that river. It could be, where there's good resources, or where you can have where you can dig a well, okay, where you can farm, that economic activity. So that's that local perspective. Ecological perspective is a complex set of interacting living and non-living components. Is the soil good? Are there good? Is there access to waterways? Is there access to transportation? All those things. That's that ecological perspective. So there's different geographic perspectives. World and spatial terms. Again, when we were talking about the exact location of a place, Thief River Falls, for example, that's the site. Where the site is a specific location. So TRF, Thief River Falls, is at 48 degrees, and I'll explain how to read this. It's 48 degrees, 11 minutes, and 91 seconds north. It's 96 degrees and 18 minutes, 11 degrees west. Okay, so it's degrees, then it's minutes, and then it's seconds, and it can even go point blah 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 to go down to exactly where you are. Situation, again, that's relative location, relative to where you are. So it might be situated an hour's drive west or east of North Dakota and 2 hours south of Canada. So that's a situation, right? Absolute location is site, relative location is situation. Formal region, unifying characteristics of or product, maybe like Corn Belt, the area in the United States where they grow a lot of the corn. Red River Valley, for example, would be where we are. Okay, we're in the Red River Valley. It's a characteristic or the formal region of a place. You might have a functional region. So if you think about like sports, high school sports or activities, who you compete against is functional regions. So like Section 8 AA, or you could have other functional regions like Northwest Minnesota Association of Referees, or Association of Corn Growers, or whatever it might be. That's a functional region. A perceptional region, that's commonly accepted or traditional values. For example, even though Thief River Falls is in the same state as Minneapolis, Thief River Falls probably has more in common with a lot of towns or regions in North Dakota. Okay, it's across border. So the boundary lines, it's in spite of boundary lines, but you might have more commonly accepted tradition or value with those places. So that could be a perceptional region. This is the way we're going to talk about geography from here on out. You got physical systems and human systems. Okay, physical systems would be climate, land, water, plants, animal life that is significant to humans. And then human geography, social, cultural, economic, all those things, right? So you think about the hard sciences, the physical sciences, biology, climatology, all those things, meteorology. Okay, that's going to be on one side of the physical systems of geography. And you have the social geography, economic geography, even history, okay, being on one side. And then putting those together is that holistic synthesis and how that affects humans, okay? And ways that geographers use research methods to get information. They're going to directly observe They're going to go to these places, visit, observe physical features. Okay, it's not the only way to do it. They can do it remotely too. Other things they're going to map. Complex information can be shared easily on a picture, right? Picture is usually worth 1,000 words, or whatever the saying is. So you're going to get a lot of information by putting that information on a map, and people being able to view those. Interviewing, ask people how they think about certain places, or take sample size. All those things are important too. Analyze statistics, temperature, rainfall, ethnicity, really to look at trends throughout that particular area. And then again, technology, using satellites, drones, computers, all those things for remote sensing activities. Geographers and other subject areas, they're going to look at historical patterns, census data, example, voting data. They might look at political patterns. All these things are to look at trends over time. And that really kind of sets the tone for the rest of the book, or the rest of the text that we're going to be going through, is how these tools and methods are used to understand historical patterns, economies, politics, political patterns, all these things, and put it on a landscape for us to understand movement and the way people make choices. So hopefully, if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. Read through your book and see how this is matched up with the text so far. All right, thanks. Bye.